my masterpiece. This diagram shows that knowledge of the unconscious is gained by the ego by way of projections. The unconscious, and this is something that is really serious, unconscious is unconscious. You don't know what's down there until you experience it by way of a projection. So, a woman walks in the room and I'm struck. What's happened? She has received my Animot projection. There was a dimple here or something like that that Mother had, and there it is. I don't recognize this Mother. I think it's that out there. And then I marry the creature. Now, I don't know what I'm doing, really. What I'm really joining up with is a projection of my own psyche. And it doesn't take long in marriage for a fact to show through. And here comes the typical problem. Now, what are you going to do? You thought you were marrying this, and you got that. And there are two possibilities. One, you can say, darling, I am disillusioned. I'm taking my anima back for reprojection. And this can go on. The only alternative is to transform passion into compassion and say, well, dear, all right, I accept the fact. And then there comes what we call love. Love is really the relationship to the person. It's a person-to-person relationship that develops. Otherwise, there's tension, but there has to be a reconciliation with the fact world. And this we call maturation. Now, I've got up there not only people, but animal and trees. Women frequently identify themselves in their dreams and visions with vegetal forms and so forth. And we can fall in love with the tree, with the plant, projecting into the plant sentiments which belong properly to human beings or animals. I know people who have invested more love in their cats than in their families. These things are inevitables. So what I want to go through today are these projections. I'm going to deal first with the shadow projections. The shadow is the rejected, frightening aspect of your experience of life, which then gets projected onto people. The shadow in your life will always be a person of your own sex. It's the you that you are refusing to admit. It has terrifying, threatening qualities, but you must remember that it also encloses values, positive, gold values, that you have not allowed to come into your life. The shadow, you don't know anymore why it is you don't like that person. I've had the experience, a rather common one in my life. I do not like you, Dr. Fell. The reason why, I do not know. I cannot tell. But this I know and know right well. I do not like you, Dr. Fell. Well, this is a person that's doing things that I was taught not to do. Let's say something like that. Then the anima projection. But then there's another. The projection of the self. The idea of your totality, your fulfillment. This is a very important matter with respect to education, pedagogy. There's a theory going around now that the character of the teacher doesn't matter so long as the teacher has the information that's necessary. This is all wrong. It's the character of the teacher that evokes ideological participation and spontaneous identification and learning. Everyone can remember 4 or 5 teachers out of many dozen who actually did something to one. These were people that evoked the self-image and with it the learning and what they had to teach. And now we come to the next problem. What is it that enforces the persona system, that enforces the folk idea system? The first level are the neighbors. What will the neighbors think? Little Sati won't throw herself on her husband's funeral pyre. What will the neighbors think? So we throw her on. This is the most important, really. Then we have the whole institutionalization of morality and social custom and so forth that enforces this system. Then we have the idea of nature, the idea of nature. People speak of, natural moral laws and all that sort of thing, as though there were any such thing. And finally, with this, I represent the idea of transcendence. This is the sun door through which the soul goes, burning out all temporality into eternal life. The ideas that are represented here, the grades of ideas, are what enforce this circle. And when the persona system is enforced by the society, there will be a socially, locally conditioned anima-animus system also. The image of the mother, she is of a member of a certain society, a certain race, and so forth. This establishes this. Now, there are two kinds of mythology. There's what is called the right-hand path, the mythology of the village compound that keeps you fixed in the context of your world. And you grow up here, you live as expected, you live a dignified, successful, and in a rich society, a richly developed life. On the other hand, you may flip out. You may have the feeling of incongruities here. This doesn't go with me. And then you move out. You move out into a realm of danger. This is known as the left-hand path. You follow the way of your own bliss. And you are in a realm for which there are no rules. And since your bliss is not mine, you don't know where you're going. Here you will live a life of danger, creativity, perhaps not a respected life, but certainly an interesting one. And these are the two choices. And there are mythologies for both. There's the right-hand mythology, which is local to each culture. And then there is what I would call the general mythology of the hero journey, the night sea journey, the hero quest, where the individual is going to bring forth in his life something that was never beheld before, namely the fulfillment in time and space of his own potentialities, which are peculiar to himself.